Good morning. It's Fish, the Beach Bum Investor, with your cryptocurrency discussion and report for the 22nd of December 2017. Very close to the end of the year. Bitcoin's retraced. It was actually testing the 15,000 support on the downside when I was checking last. See what happens there over the next hour, and probably try and push pause on this. 2017. Very close. Very well done, Fish. Okay, Joe's in, Sammy's in. A-Dog's in. Smash that like button. Crypto Chronicus, and of course Hourglass, who somehow got in before it even started. That's spooky, dude. Just posting up in Discord. Sorry I haven't been around the Discord group, guys. I've just been having a little bit of time off. Been working really hard, so just needed a couple of days to chill. I'll be back in there today. We'll sort out. We've got a plan for the ICO we've been looking at, guys. Turns out there's referral bonuses, so we need to go into action as a crew for those people who want to get involved. We'll work out a referral system where we essentially all just refer each other to get the extra coins within the groups. What's going on, Jace? Are you back, man? Jace, have you seen Icon? You owe your missus a dog. It hit over $2 on the first day. Wilkie now owes his missus a snowboarding trip because it hit $3 this morning. I think it's retraced from there. What's up? Hello from Texas. Well, Texas, I mean Texas. Yeah, g'day, Crypto Chronicus, BB. Antagnio, making a killing on Lisk. Lisk has been ridiculous. So has Komodo, so has Ripple. Now, as you know, I'm in Lisk and Komodo. Not in Ripple, but I did actually buy some Ripple for one of my staff members who asked me to buy it for them. I said, oh, really, Ripple? Okay, it's your choice. Like, I always thought it was going to be a good thing, but jeez, it's done well. We'll have a look at the market in a second. Yeah, ICX $3. You back, dude? Cool. Jace, catch up for a beer soon, man. I think we need to, considering ICX, don't you? What's going on, Grinkers? Boom. Grinkers and I went on a bit of a buying spree when it hit market, so did Wilkie. Because, well, Jace, when it hit market, Jace, it dropped down to 80 cents. Not joking. Not joking. I picked, by the time I got sorted at my computer, I picked it up at $1.20. I pretty much smashed in everything I could. Anything I had spare that had taken profits, I moved it over to Binance and just bought it up. Grinkers did the same. Wilkie did the same. So we're cheering this morning. Okay. Funny BTC down, but my portfolio BTC value is up 10%. Yeah. And don't forget, we've got Lightning Network coming up, guys. Lightning Network could be a game changer. There's a lot of talk about the reason Bitcoin is sliding is because people are understanding now, new people in the economy, that it's costing a lot to move. There's scalability issues, but these same people who are only just finding this out for the first time are probably not aware of Lightning Network. They're probably not aware of B2X is coming up exactly, Crypto Chronicus. We're in sync today. And Bitcoin God as well on the 25th. So, you know, within the next week, within the next 7 days, we've got 3 major events for Bitcoin. 1 major event and 2 cash grabs with 2 more forks coming up. So, yeah. Oh, man, we were stoked, Jace. We just went, nah. We've been watching the futures for months, man. And there was enough volume that the futures should have been a fairly good indication, right? So when it hit markets and like it went up to $6 straight away, straight off the bat, and then, or $5 or something, then went, boom, see you later, down to 80 cents. And I don't think much volume was traded at that sort of price at $6, but geez, I just, you know, you just get a feeling, and I just pulled everything I could in there, and I just went, nah, this is a once-off opportunity. I've been watching the markets for 2 months on futures. There's been enough volume to give me an indication of the range, and this is half. This is half price what the range has been. So it ended up being a little bit more than that because I got it for $1.20, $1.30. So already 2x from there, plus 20x on my ICO investment. No, 30x on my ICO investment on that one. So stoked. Bobek, Fish, what's up? Not much, man. There's no surf today, so I'm going a bit stir crazy. It's like literally this big. I'm looking at another competition in January too, guys. I'm probably going to go up to the Sunshine Coast and compete again. Gary Thatcher's looking at taking on the World Tour next year, and you guys know he's like my ultimate rival. I almost had him last time, so I want to go up there and push him and really help him. And I don't expect to beat him, but if I can just give him a real strong run before he goes and, you know, represents Australia on the world stage, that's what I'll be doing. So I think I'm going to go up to that comp in January as well. Another PIVX represented comp for Fish. KMD, yeah, KMD's been ridiculous, Milo. I haven't seen you in ages. What's going on? Looks like BTC will always have forks. It's almost the new ICO, Cryptoconicus. It's the BTC version of an ICO. WTF, that's a lot of letters. OMG. But it does, I mean, it tends to be the way they go with almost an ICO for Bitcoin forks. It's kind of similar. PIVX is doing well. Well, yeah, man. Oh, we're stoked. It's been brilliant. Up above $10. We'll get onto the market in a second, guys. Just catching up with you and having a chat. Sammy, you know, there's going to be more opportunities, man. The best thing is now not to FOMO it. Sammy's just expressing his regret that he wasn't able to get in on Icon with us. Just don't FOMO it, dude. Look for those dips. You'll be able to, you know, find a good range and pick it up. I still think long term, and this gets onto Chitty Irigabo. Sorry if I've got that wrong. That's a tough name for me. Irigbo. Anyway, thoughts on Icon? I think it's got real potential. It's done a lot of work pre-ICO. We identified it and got in pre-sale, so I will fully disclose that I've already gone 30x on it. It's hard to be negative of a coin that you've gone 30x on, but I think it's got more room to grow. You've seen what Liska's done. You've seen what Ethereum's done. You've seen what Neo's done. You've seen so if you like, Liska's almost the German or the European Ethereum. That's the way I saw it, really efficient. You know, I joked about German efficiency in that when it was down around $4 or $5. And I first identified it at $2 to $2.50, I think it was. But if you look at what Liska's done, you look at what Ethereum has done, you look at what Neo has done, and you look at a lot of the money that's driven those moves, especially Neo and Ethereum, and it was Korean won. Heavily, like a major portion of it was Korean won. So when Koreans get the opportunity to invest in Korean blockchain from scratch, when they find out what it is, so it's not being heavily advertised. There's not a lot of people talking about it yet, that I've seen anyway. And I think when people start to realize how much work they did before they even hit ICO phase in terms of getting all those real world partnerships organized, I think it's going to do Neo sort of action. I think it will. I've said previously, Chitty, that I think that it can achieve Neo's market cap, if not surpass it, since the Korean one heavily drove Neo's move. I even suggested that perhaps a little money, when people start to learn about it, might drain out of Neo. But Neo's really popular, so I don't know if that's going to happen. But it's I think it can definitely get up there with that, like a Neo-esque sort of market cap. Thanks for the question. Nate Forge, what's up, bro? Look at Icon, $3. All right, let's have a look, guys. I'll come back to the chat and say, oh, Ethercept, what's going on? Rise is next. Yeah, I think Rise is good value. I picked up some more Ethercept. I picked up like another 100 coins yesterday just because I thought, you know what, I'm going to just keep accumulating. It's just like $100 or something, right? For 100 Australian dollars, like 75 US. I just take some of my profits on other things that have never, like I've taken profits on things that is like Lisk, for example. I did start selling out very small amounts of coins, and it's mooned that much that I don't expect to be able to buy it back. So I might as well chuck into other things that haven't gone quite crazy. And I think Rise has got good potential for the same reason that everything in the DApp world has gone nuts lately. Ethercept said, congrats on PIVX cracking $10. I believe they wouldn't have without you. Oh, mate, I'm sure they would have. I'm a drop in the ocean for the PIVX team. But thanks very much, Ethercept. Yeah, it's been a tough road, man. You know, we went through some tough times with Zero Coin Protocol. Now that that's all fixed up, the market seems to be really bullish on PIVX, which is, yeah, it's really satisfying when you put in that much work. Shaquille, what's going on, man? Milo, you want to do an online view with some KMD team in January, February interview chat? Yeah, I'd love to. I love having the teams on the show, man. PIVX are going to come on soon. I got a bunch of messages from the PIVX team. I haven't been on Discord in 2 days. I got a bunch of messages from Crypto Wave Investment Crew, so I've got to go through all that. But Milo, I'd love to do a chat with KMD since I've been talking about their coin long before they hit this sort of market cap. So maybe if you can organise that, I'd be stoked. So just let me know. You're still buying ICX? Yeah, Grinkers is hell bullish on ICX. He was buying it up. Grinkers was buying it up in our internal we had an internal market going on in the Crypto Wave investment crew, and Grinkus was buying it up at $1.50, $1.70. He said he was FOMOing it big time, and he still is, even at $3. Good to see. Okay, guys, I'm just going to pop over. We'll catch up on some more chat soon. So if there's any, got any shark stories? I do actually, Bo Beck. I got a few of them. So if you hang around, we'll get onto that in a second. I've been surfing all my life, man. So I live in Australia. So yeah, I'm going to have some shark stories. But if you bear with me, let's go and have a look at the market and see how things are going. I'm just going to come over to screen share, guys, and we'll update, see how it's trending, see if Bitcoin's going to hold that 15,000. I haven't checked since it came on. The market's moving so quickly. Let's have a look at what's going on. This is from yesterday, obviously. Let's have a quick look at Icon to start with, because it's still not actually being, yeah, nice. $3.03. Crack that $3 mark. Wilkie is going to Japan with his missus on a snowboarding trip. That was the deal if it went to there. You see how it's still actually not listed on market cap, though? See, it's saying rank 1063. You know, this actually puts it at $1.2 billion. So that's going to put it right up there in the overall market cap, right? And when people start seeing it that high up and go, how did I miss this? What's this thing? The FOMO will hit hard, I'm sure, when they find out what a great project it is. So that's interesting. Let's go to Coin Market Cap. And for those of you who do get worried that I'm not getting back to you quick enough, I've got 4,300 messages. So I am sorry. I do try and get back as quick as I can. But it is a growing task with more and more people joining the investment crew. Okay, the overall market cap has reduced, 592 billion. You know, we're talking maybe 6% from highs. So not alarming at this stage, just money moving from one area to the other in the economy. So let's have a look at how it's doing that. We'll bring up the view all as well. Now, 15,000 has acted as support in this case. It was dropping just a little bit below that before, at least on Bittrex when I was checking. I really should check Coin Market Cap. Okay, look, this is interesting. Ethereum below 800. Litecoin dropping back down to that 300 mark. But one of the massive gainers, look at this, Ripple, $1.24. Now, Ethercept said he thought it would sort of trade between this range and $1 for a while now, the same way it did between 20 and 30 cents before its next explosion. But the amount of momentum that Ripple's got up, and the fact that people seem to be buying cheap coins, it is kind of silly. Like, people don't take into account the circulating supply. It is a mental thing, but it seems to be repeating and repeating, because the coins that have the higher circulating supplies and therefore the lower the lower coin prices seem to be going up by more. So it's an interesting psychological event that seems to be occurring with some regularity in the market. So it's interesting. It doesn't make any sense. Like, if you do the maths, it doesn't make any sense, but it's a psychological thing. Ethercept did suggest it about a week ago. Again, Ethercept setting the early trends, picking up on that one. So IOTA's come back below the $5 mark. It did have a pretty good run up. So some of these reds are expected. Quite a lot of red in the last 24 hours, but I mean, most of you will have been coming off all-time highs on your account if you've invested well and, you know, kept you cool. Hey, Stellar Lumens is getting more and more support, guys. I really think with Ripple's run up and the way this market tends to work, where people feel like they missed Ethereum, so they look to Neo. They feel like they missed Neo, so they go to Lisk. They feel like they missed Lisk, so they'll probably go to Rise. You know, the same way that repeats with people trying to find the next big thing. And I think that'll stop one day, because I think it's very speculative at the moment. But the same way that that's happened with a lot of things, I think Stellar Lumens could be in for some good times, given that people will look for the next sort of Ripple-style coin, which is Stellar Lumens. All those, you know, different business models. Hey, this is what we've been talking about with Lisk. Look at this. I mean, it has been insane. Sorry, my phone's going off. Yeah, absolutely insane. Another 20% in the last 24 hours. Over double your money in the last week. Verge has come back a little bit. For those of you who are desperate to get in, it has taken nice big double figure retracements, but remember the run up it had. Look, we're still up massive amounts over 7 days. So it's up to you on the buy there, but I think long term it's getting more and more strength. It is one of the coins that, you know, has 12 cents as its coin price. Everyone goes, oh, it's so cheap, it's so cheap. Yeah, it is per coin, but that's also because it has a massive circulating supply of coins. So it's always good to keep that in consideration. But at the moment, if everyone else is doing it, you can just make money off of this little trend that's started to develop. Komodo, this is the other one we had in the headline for today. Have a look at Komodo. Now, Agent Smith and Fish were stocking up on this at $2 and even up to $3 to get ready for the Monet's ICO. I still haven't heard an announcement about that, but I haven't been on Discord for 2 days. So Agent Smith might have told me. I'll have to double check. But that's an awesome run up. I've been trading it a little bit as well at the high end because it's just too high for me not to consider taking some profit. I was actually going to take the whole bag into the Monet's ICO, and then with that sort of a run up, I expected it to be around $4 when it hit Monet's ICO. So that's almost triple that. So I did need to take some of it out. I just think that's responsible investing. Okay, what else have we got that's done real well? Yeah, I said I think sold below $9 would prove to be good buying, and it's come up. PIVX has just dropped back below that $10 psychological support. Not unusual with these massive run-ups, guys. Look at this, 80% a week for PIVX. Yup. Binance Coin is fairly steady. I think this is going to be a grower. I've done a valuation of the actual, like a rough valuation of the actual platform, and I get it to somewhere around the $700 to $750 million mark as a valuation for a company. So I think this is actually 50% undervalued at the moment. And this is at current stages. If Binance continue to grow their platform, then this is further behind where the valuation for the company needs to be. They now have 2 million members. 2 million. I mean, that's a lot. And it's quickly exploded from 1 million. So Binance's volumes continue to grow. They continue to develop the platform, and they continue to run very, very interesting trading competitions, including one they've got on Waves at the moment, where they're giving away 10,000 Waves. So that's about 150 grand at current price of Waves. And the good thing is they're paying that one right down to the 500 customer. So like in groups of 10. So it's kind of random. It's kind of a lotto draw because you get paid at 1st, at 10th, at 20th, at 30th, and so on and so forth, down to 490th, I believe. So yeah, they're running, and they're giving away a Porsche in their latest trading comp as well. So there's some really interesting trading competitions going on. I think the decentralized market will shake up the centralized exchanges, but I don't think they're just going to roll over and die and go away, especially if they're doing a good job, which Binance, in general, they are, apart from not adding PIVX yet. He's gone there again. All right, well, that's another one that I saw doing well was Substratum. I just want to see where that's sitting. It did pop back over that 60, but there it is. Look at this. 70 cents. Guys, we got this at 6. That's turned into a 12 bagger for us now. No, yes, 12 bagger. Almost a 12 bagger. Beautiful. Chainlink, guys, I've been talking about this for ages. Ages and ages. I was talking about it down at 15 cents. I still think this has got a lot of room to grow. I think Link will be a really solid performer. I'm putting it in my top 5 for 2018. I'm too bullish on it. Third-party information, taking that next step to actually enabling smart contracts. Yeah, I like it. Hey, ADAX, can I be happier with this? I don't have a big bag of it, but I just held it and knew it would be good. And this is one I haven't traded, and I'm glad I didn't, because I probably would have traded out of a fair bit with this run up. I might look into it now and see what's happening. I really think like taking some of this profit into Bitcoin at the moment on the Bitcoin lows is not a bad idea, because this is just my personal opinion, but I think 15,000 could act as support. And if 15,000 does act as support, you're going to get a Lightning Network coming tomorrow. Well, 20, let's call it 24 to 48 hours, because I'm not really sure which time zone they're basing the release off. 24 to 48 hours, we're going to see Lightning Network for Bitcoin. We're going to, I've said this before, but on Christmas Day, we're seeing a fork where you'll get free Bitcoin. And on the 28th, you're going to get B2X, which I don't really care about either of them, but I know the market probably will when they wake up to the fact that it's going on, which half of them won't have. So position yourself early. This is what I always do. I've done it every fork. I position myself early. I get into the odds, and I go back. Most people do it. Vertcoin's one that I think, guys, could. It's gone a bit under the radar recently since the halvening, and I think Vertcoin has really, really good technology. And I've always said it could have, one day a Litecoin-esque mind you, this is when Litecoin was $2 billion, $3 billion, but I said it could have that sort of market cap. So if that was to be true, that's still 10x to go. You'd be looking at $80, $90 for a vert coin. I don't think that's out of the question. I know that seems ambitious, guys, and I don't often call a 10 bagger, but I just got to relate this back to the quality of the tech in Litecoin. And I love Litecoin, don't get me wrong, but Vertcoin's equally as good a project, if not better, in my opinion. Just having a look what else we got. Zcoin's had another good run, 10%. Privacy coin. Aeon, I have to look what that one is, I don't even know. Ethos. So formerly Bitcoins has come up really, really nicely. Looks like the rebranding's done them well. Yeah, all looking good. Well, it's not all looking great, but it's fairly solid, guys. We had this massive run up. Everyone's calling bubble, bubble, bubble. I'm like, what are you looking at? The 15-minute, like the 1-minute graphs or something? It's just a constant uptrend if you look at the long period. Here's Rise. Hey, I think Rise might be good buying under that 70-cent mark. There you go. I'm going to pick up some more today. I'm going to keep stacking up on that as it in the dips. I'm going to stack up on Rise. Try not to sell out to too much. District 0x, I'm really happy with the recovery on that. That was at 4 cents not long ago. Now, I did buy it at 10, so I'm still not even yet, but getting closer. Just held on. Hodled, because I like the project. Steam dollars around $12, guys. That's pretty cool. So if you get $1 in Steam dollars, like you post an article and you make $1, you actually make $12. So that's pretty sweet. All right, I'm going to come back to the chat. We've had a good look at the market. I'm going to stop screen sharing. Hello, back. See who's here. Zhao's in, Crypto Chronicles. Ha ha ha, bubble. Yeah, all the hassle for Bitcoin Gold was not worth it. Very good point. B2X happening when? It's on the 28th. The team looks, it's like, I don't want to insult the team, but it's a very small team to take on a project like this. So I just don't know. It's not for me, man. Yeah, there's a fork on the 25th. I don't know if there's another one tomorrow. There might be another one. I don't know. Oh, Crypto Chronicles. That's right. You're a big trader. You better be signed up under my Binance bloody thing if you're doing that. Now, there's always trading competitions on Binance, man. If you're not trading Binance already, use my link because I know you're a big trader. I'll get commission. But yeah, no, on Binance, man, they have trading comps all the time. Like with the volume you did on that Cobinhood trading comp, you'd do well. You'd be up there, especially if you had like a really good time where you're just smashing out buys and sells all over the place. Yeah, I think you could do quite well in those trading comps, man. So take a look at them. Nelson Valadares, not seen you before. Zhao's in. What's a fork? I love it. Well, if you are being serious, look, we do get newbies on this channel, so I'll just quickly explain what a fork is. A fork is essentially when there's a group of people who decide that they've got a better way forward for whichever particular coin it is. There are two types of forks. There's soft forks and hard forks. What happens during a hard fork like B2X is the Bitcoin blockchain is copied, so it's exactly the same up to a certain block number. And that at a certain block number, they'll say, okay, we're going our own way. So everything up to this point to keep the ledger intact is exactly the same. And what they do to keep that is they take a snapshot of that ledger, they distribute the same amount of coins to the people who are holding whichever. And then from then on, it's a separate transaction ledger, if you like. So that's essentially like a layman's term of what a fork is. You also get forks which are done with complete consensus of the governing group or the community, and that's done for reasons like increasing, like if you take Ethereum, for example, this is not a competitive fork. It's in total agreement with the community. They're forking so that they can increase scalability, security, move to proof of stake. So Yeah, I didn't know whether that was a serious question or not, so I just thought I'd answer it anyway. That's like a layman's, like a real beginner's explanation. Making so much money, that's good to hear. You almost got me. You typed in a swear, and you know I read the swears. Accidentally, Ron Burgundy. Anybody have insight on Tron? Lots of seemingly good things happening over there, but steady declines today. Bo Beckett has had a manual. You can't just run, nothing goes in straight lines, man. Nothing just goes zip and just keeps going forever. It doesn't happen. Fluctuations in markets are natural. With a run up like Tron had, like it was ridiculous, the run up. It was bound to eventually dip, right? So I agree. I've heard lots of good things about it, but I haven't actually looked into it. A lot of people are a big fan of the CEO or the founder of Tron. They're getting listed to exchanges. They put that announcement out. There was a couple of other things, something on the 28th about, I can't remember. There was a couple of announcements made in a row for Tron, like 3 dates in particular, but I haven't looked heavily into it because I actually sold my Tron Bobek. I got airdropped it. I don't have anything against Tron. It's just that I hadn't researched it. So when it had a really good run up, it made more sense for me to take the profit on something I was given for free and put it into something I had researched. And in this case, it was Icon. And I haven't done the comparatives. I think I would have actually been better left in Tron because of its excessive run up, but I don't care. I picked up Icon at $1.20. It's good gains for me. I'll take it. But it's a good question, man. A lot of news came out about Tron driving these prices. Is IOTA a potential 100 bagger by December 2018? 100 bags seems so effing ridiculous, but you're in a swearing mood today, everyone. Hey, Mark, by the way. But there are so many coins that have done it or more in the last 12 months. Mate, PIVX in the last 18 months must be, like, it must be 1,500x or something like that. I'm not even joking. If you had $1,000 in PIVX 18 months ago, you'd have $1.5 million. So, yeah, and there's still room for growth because you can see what coins can get to with market cap. You've seen what Verge has just done. So, yeah, I think IOTA can it do 100 bag? Not in the next year. Not for mine. No, I think that IOTA can be an absolute giant long term, but I'm talking 10 years long term because Tangle technology is so new compared to blockchain technology, which has had much more testing. 10 years of security through Bitcoin. So yeah, I think IOTA can do very well. Can it do 100x in the next year? Depends on how quickly they prove the network, I guess, and prove that Tangle technology does actually work like it's supposed to. We obviously wouldn't want any more news about any more bugs in the system like we had not so long ago. How quickly we forget about that 3 months ago. So yeah, I think there's a lot of proving to go on with IOTA, but if it's proven, it should moon. It should. By what X, I have no idea, but you're talking about levels of transactions that if they get it right cannot be replicated by any other currency in the market at the moment. Like, you're talking levels of transactions that have never been seen in history before because it's no longer needing people to make the transaction. That's insanity if that happens. It's a huge, huge goal. Yeah, I picked up some waves as soon as I saw the competition announced. Jao asked me if I'm trading waves for the competition. I did, man, because the reason is it pays up to 500th, right? So you don't have to go trading like 50 BTC to have a chance. So yeah, I started trading some waves, and also pretty much whenever Binance announces a competition, you get a quick spike, and I got that. So at least against BTC, I don't know what the dollar value was, but it starts your trading off. So yeah, pretty much every time they list one, if I'm early to hear the news and it hasn't bumped yet, I'll jump on it, because even if I haven't looked at it, because again and again I've made money doing it. When Bitcoin forks into useless coins, you say, what the fork exactly? Mark Angelone, how do you claim your new coin when there's a fork? Mark, it depends. It should be issued to you. Depends on where you're keeping your Bitcoin, mate. So if you're keeping your Bitcoin on the exchange, it depends on the exchange. Now, I've been paid fork coins at Binance, Bittrex, and Cryptopia before. I have just recently received Bitcoin Cash on Coinbase, but I have no idea what that's about, because it seems that they took the amount from now instead of from the time of the snapshot. I don't really understand how that's working. There is also ways that you can split the coins yourself if you're particularly technologically savvy, Mark, but that essentially they're an airdrop, man, so you don't have to claim them. They will be dropped on you. It's then how you deal with that. You've got to be very careful with moving any forked coins. Okay, so always make sure before you move a forked coin that the fork has what's called replay protection. Okay, now what replay? If a coin doesn't have replay protection, by moving it, you actually risk losing your BTC in what's called a replay attack. Okay, so that's probably the best advice I can give you on layman's explanation of how to handle a fork. Most people will recommend that during the fork, the best place to keep your Bitcoin is in a hardware wallet. That's my understanding. I'm naughty. Because I trade a lot of my Bitcoin, I keep it on exchange, and I keep very, very little in an actual wallet. But yeah, it is the best place to keep it. So Trezor, most people are preferring Ledger Nano S to Trezor, is my understanding. I haven't used either, so you'll have to make your own decision. But yeah, that's it, man. There's really nothing you should be doing. Yes, I have heard of Electronium admin. What's his name? McAfee tweeted about it, and the market went through the roof on his tweet. Thanks for answering that question. So do that. Nelson, I think XRP, I've been asked about Ripple. I think long time it'll do well. But for me, see, I've given up profits on coins that I was pretty confident would moon because they were gambling based. I've given up profits on Bitcoin Cash when I was almost positive that the rumor was true about it getting added to Coinbase for a philosophical reason. So for me, although I think Ripple has fantastic technology and is making excellent partnerships with the banks, I don't want to support the banks. That's why I'm in blockchain, because the banks, the current financial system hasn't worked. That's the truth. So why are we still doing it? So yeah, so for me, I don't particularly. I think they'll do well, but I'm just not investing in it. Beck, right? I get that. Just figured there's some new announcements. We might see more growth. Oh well, still holding. Yeah, it's always a good idea, man. Just hodling's. I've said it before and I say it again. Hodling's proven to be one of the most profitable techniques you can use in this economy. Race Kristen, Ethereum congested again today. Why does it continue to rise with such an obvious problem, and why doesn't it affect their token price? That's an excellent question, Race. Race Kristen, welcome. I'm not sure I've seen you before. Excellent question. I've got two answers. One is that by the Ethereum network actually getting congested, I mean, it's the same as Bitcoin. How could Bitcoin keep going up when it's costing $20 at one stage to move it? But by being, the fact that it was congested means more transactions are happening on the network. So in a way, that does actually show increased adoption. So that's one reason for it. The other reason, Race, is that the current fork going on with, I think we're through Metropolis and we're going on to Constantinople. I'd have to check the actual dates for each segment of the fork, and there is a third segment as well. But the point is that that's actually going to make some major, well, probably not huge, but it will increase Ethereum scalability when they move to proof of stake model. And there are also other things that I don't really understand because I'm not a coder or a programmer that they are doing to increase scalability during this fork. So the solution is nigh, if you like. That's probably why the price isn't reducing, because it's increased in adoption. More people are using it, and the solutions are right around the corner. And Ethereum have proven before that they can move quickly. Bitcoin can tend to drag their feet a little bit. Ethereum's a little bit more centralized, which helps them do that. I don't think anyone would argue with that. Oh, they're probably both a little bit centralized from what was the original vision, but Ethereum seems to be able to just move quicker. That's what I've experienced. Good dip right now, Xiao, on waves. Thanks, man. Anyone looking to get into that trading comp, Xiao's saying there's good dip. Please make your own decisions. No, BTC went below 15K, so my Verge comparable went up. Did you get those BCX? I got some on Binance. BCX. I don't know what BCX is. Oh, was it a fork coin? Oh, I always get fork coins in all my wallets, and I just go, whatever. Hey, Muhammad Ahmed, which coin do you think has the potential to go to $100 from $1, or from 1 to 10 cents to $1, like Litecoin did? I mean, what has the potential to go 100x? That's the question you're asking me. I honestly think that to get that sort of run up, you're going to need to hit something at ICO, and then people FOMO it. And I think like the best chance we've had this year has been on, since I've been in the game, has been on Icon. Luckily, I nailed it. Got in at ICO. It's done 30x last time I checked. I wouldn't be surprised to receive retracements after that sort of growth. But I think it can do another 3x easily from here, which puts it to 100 or 90x, so close enough. What can do it from here? I think Q-Link and Gladius have huge potential. Q-Link, guys, the whitelist has closed, unfortunately. They were overwhelmed. So I did talk about it a couple of days ago. So if you missed it, I'm sorry. I tried to give you the heads up. We had Susan on the show telling you herself. So, yeah. What has the potential? I think one of those ICOs, man, Q-Link, Gladius, I think they've both got huge potential. There's another one that we're looking at the moment. I don't know about 100x though. I suppose it could. Yeah, I suppose it could. There's an ICO that we're looking at the moment, Muhammad Ahmed. I don't want to say it out loud because we have a tendency of picking ones that sell out. So you're welcome to come and have a look at that in the Discord group. PIVX $10 to $1,000. Oh, I'd love to see it. Crypto Chronicus, that would make me a very wealthy man. Although knowing me, I'd just give it all away. 10 cents to $1 Verge. Yeah, I mean, I tell you what, Ethercept, it's hard to back against $1 now, even though that I originally sort of scoffed at it. You know, I scoffed at it because it's sort of dreamy stuff, right? The amounts of money we're making in this economy, it doesn't. It's incredible. Well, I guess I've never really been at the front end of like technology before. I've just made money the old-fashioned way, like small gains here and there. So lucky for me. Ryan Brandy, any thoughts on Zcoin? Yeah, I think it's a good coin, Ryan. I think privacy coins will do well next year. I think that they already have. They've started to pump through the end of 2017, but I think they'll continue to do well in 2018. I think there's a real need for them. We've seen Zcoin go. We've seen Verge go. We've seen PIVX go. We've seen Monero. We've seen be harder to find a privacy coin that hasn't gone up. Yeah, so I think it's a popular feature to have on the coin. Raju Baju, which Bitcoin exchange will go bankrupt first? What an awesome question. So good. Mount Gox. Can I call hindsight? How high do you think Ripple can go, King Kutz? Depends on how many banks they work with and how many banks develop their own blockchain solutions. So Jcoin in Japan is rumored to be taking a big chunk of the banking sector away, or potential clients away from Ripple by developing their own coin. Jamie Dimon's in the space now, developing his own blockchain. Pretty much did the same thing he did when he took over the banking world. He went and bought up all his opposition. For those of you who studied that dickhead's history, he started his career trading in debt, so I don't like him to start with. And then he basically went and bought up half of Citibank and all the rest of it and just aggressive takeover. And now he's trying to do the same thing with blockchain. And I think blockchain will laugh at him. But he bought up half the bloody blockchain world. He came out and said, Bitcoin's crap. It took a massive dive. Then the next day there was a massive buy order of Bitcoin from JP Morgan in Europe. And the next thing, he's hired up a whole lot of people, developers, people who have been in the blockchain space for a long time. So it depends on how much the banks choose to develop their own blockchain and how much they choose to use a service that's already existing, like Ripple. Considering such low fees, they might not want the cost and the hassle of having their own, and the risk, and indeed, of having their own blockchain. Shaquille Ahmed's asked, what's so good about private coins other than being able to buy drugs with them? Which would you buy right now? Monero looking like a good dip. Shaquille, I find it funny how people constantly go to that, oh, you're doing it, buying drugs with it. I've used that before, there's plenty of reasons there's plenty of legitimate reasons to have anonymity in your transactions. For starters, data collection. Every time you spend something on your credit card, it's recorded to promote, to market to you. That's not something I'm overly keen on, is people tracking my spending to try and get me to spend more. So for me, I like anonymous coins for that reason. I'm a romantic, and if I want to buy my girlfriend flowers or chocolates without her knowing, because otherwise she can just check the blockchain and trace it back to me. So I can use an anonymous transaction to do that. It doesn't always have to be about the negatives, I think there's a real need for it. I do. I think our, the way our spending patterns are tracked at the moment it's pretty manipulative. Like, they track your spending patterns and then send you advertising based on what you're buying, because they can target it right to you. I just think it's a bit intrusive. You sent me a PM regarding Q-Link whitelist. Okay, sorry, Jay, I haven't been on for 2 days, man. I've been taking a little bit of a break. Shaquille Ahmed, anyone who wants to be perfectly sure their coins are safe, it's better to have privacy in case someone wants to take them or put you in jail for no reason. It's some people, I think people have just decided that it's not up to the governments, like state and finance should be separated as much as possible. Lots of governments violate your rights. See, Crypto Chronicles agrees. Anyone looking at 4ICO, PHR, privacy token? Yeah, I think it's actually based on the PIVX protocol, actually, Mark G. Well, I did hear that. I haven't spoken to the PIVX developers about it. But marketplace, if I'm not mistaken, decentralized marketplace based on a PIVX protocol. That's interesting. I'll have to have a look at it. But no, I haven't got involved. I think the main reason privacy coins are going to be essential is to combat large international interests. Yep, that's another good point. Adnan said, what's Coinbase like in terms of safety? Susceptible to hacking? Well, yes, essentially. Any wallet, like any individual wallet, is susceptible to hacking through the private key, right? That's why it's important to have a strong password that's not stored on your computer anywhere. Your two-factor authentications, all that sort of stuff that you need to really make it tough for anyone to take your money out. So yeah, Coinbase is susceptible to hacking, just like all the exchanges. I don't know, Mark. Mark said need to keep eyes open for coming privacy coin ICOs, can likely be the best plays in 2018. I don't know, man. Jamming another wedge into that already crowded space, like what kind of, unless they are really bringing a different value proposition to PIVX, said CoinVerge, Monero, how are they going to compete with the companies that have got a massive head start? They'd have to have something fairly revolutionary in their idea. So no, I'm looking for more real world use cases now, rather than just currencies and privacy and DApp, because I've focused on that and it's done me well. But I think the next progression now is to look at how we actually utilize blockchain in the real world. And that's why Substratum's mooned. And that's why I think Gladius will moon. It's sold out, so it's a good chance it will moon. That's why I think Q-Link will moon. It's closed, shut down now. And I just think that A, share digital resources, and B, actual real world use cases for blockchain technology, actually seeing them put into use and disrupt our lives in a good way. That's the sorts I'm looking for next. I think that's the next evolution, guys. That's me. Everyone's got to make their own decision. It could well be just a privacy coin ICO after privacy coin ICO that all 50x. I don't know. I don't think so though. Yizin Feng, welcome back, has asked any reason why everything on Coinbase is crashing. It's usually to do with the volume. The exchanges aren't prepared for the amount of volumes that's coming through. Still, most of them go offline at some stage. Love the Versus board. That's a that one's a Dave Winchester snub nose. I've got 2 of them now. Seeing double. Check this out. But I'll put that one on ice until I'll start competing again, because they get melted during summer in Australia, and especially the black ones. But no, it's a sick board. Snub nose. It's a drop knee model. So you see how it's got a rounded nose. Yeah, I won this one for 2016 Gold Coast Championships, and then on that one for 2017. I might as well start writing for Versus. I'm just constantly writing the boards now. Give Dave a call and say, you might as well just sponsor me. No, they're a really nice board though, man. The crew did a really good job on the drop knee shape. It's got good control, good for floaters, all that sort of thing. It is hilarious. They buy other competition, like they just calculate how much fractional reserve they need on hand. Oh, you're talking about banks? Yeah, man. Don't get me started. Sorry, catching up. All right, I'm back to live, guys. So if anyone's got any questions, chuck them in now. Cure, I've spoken about ICX a few times. I think it's a really solid project. I think it'll be an absolute giant one day. I think you're talking multi-billion market cap eventually. There you go. I've spoken about it several times in my past videos and today, so you're welcome to check out that if you want a more detailed explanation. Harry Taylor, Fish, you have it right. This US guy wants to bring back my founder's vision of bottom-up, we the people, versus top-down central control systems. Yeah, man, that's it. It's, you know, I even see use cases for decentralizing the surfing industry. I'm not even joking. I'm working on a paper at the moment. So I've only just started. It'll take me a while. But yeah, I think you know, central authorities in many industries that we've set up are just not necessary. And it actually prevents sports organizations, whatever it might be, moving forward. I can't tell you one of them, Crypto Chronicus. We've got Crypto Chronicus has said, have you got any PIVX news you can tell us about? I have to check with the guys before I drop it on you. I do know there is something that's quite innovative that we're working on, but I don't know. I haven't been in the group. I haven't been over for Discord for 2 days, so I've got to check with the guys and make sure I can release the info for you. But the devs are constantly working on new developments, man. You cannot not do that in this economy, because everyone's adding new features, everyone's improving their tech, everyone's continuing to develop. And if PIVX stops doing it, we'll fall behind. So like it's a madhouse, man. Everyone works crazy hours. Let's have a look. Ripple at $1.29. Wow, still going. Gary DeMilo's asked me, what do I think about Charlie Lee selling all his Litecoin? I think it's been perhaps misstated. Like, that's the thing. What do you think about Charlie Lee giving away all his Litecoin to the Litecoin Foundation? I think it's a very selfless move from a guy who's probably got plenty of money and now just wants to see the economy succeed, so can afford to do that. If he did indeed sell it, because that's my understanding, he gave it to the Litecoin Foundation, not that he sold it. It's a massive difference. You know, someone asked me yesterday, "Oh, what do you think of him dumping it all?" I was like, dumping it. And you know, the other thing is, I see it as generous, but it also could have been done for a tax write-off. Bit ETH 151 in Korea. Wow. Maybe we should do an alternative play. Let's do 100% non-profit coin. You send it to someone and it has your name, address, blood type, eye color, all verified by the blockchain. Who's that saying, hey, fish? Sorry. Michael Buttinger. How are you, man? Good to see you again. OMG, fish, you need to get the surf ticker. Yeah, oh, man, I got some ideas how to revolutionize. And we've actually, like, the WSL actually has a new CEO now. He's not just a washed up, or can I say this? I'm going to get in so much trouble. Stuff it. The WSL actually has a new CEO now who's not just a washed up surfer trying to be a businessman. So that's good, in my opinion. I don't necessarily agree with the whole, moving it Super Bowl style to Indonesia for a playoff series at the end of the year. I mean, these guys surf all year round and then go to Indo where the top 10 or top 12 or whatever it's going to be come up against each other. One guy gets barley belly and he's out. He's been surfing awesome the whole year. So I don't necessarily agree with what they're doing there, but it will bring a lot of spectacle to the event. And I think he's a very smart businessman. So maybe I'll write to him and suggest a few things as I do get involved and get in trouble early. Cheese on bread, picked up hemp coin at 2 cents, now at 42 cents. Was told by a friend, not sure if I should hold it now. I haven't looked into hemp coin. Stayed away from the pot coins altogether, just because there's more interesting things for me to look at. So, and it won't be legal in Australia if it's to buy weed, because weed's not legal here. So, it doesn't interest me. How am I going to spend it? If you start Surfcoin, you have to be part of my dev team for Puckcoin, and it's just going to. You should make Leafs coin. Go Leafs, go! You get Leafs have got like the biggest following in Canadian hockey, don't they? I'm sure they do. So if they do, you should start Leafs coin, Mark. How does your pooling work? Race, what we do is it just depends on the ICO. So one we're looking at the moment has, like, a lot of us will just do individual investments. Although there is like a soft cap that would struggle for some people to afford, so we might get some groups together. But there's referral bonuses, so we all refer each other and pick up those extra coins. It's a clever move. I mean, those options are available, and we create more coins within our group. So that's awesome. On some of the bigger ones where we got into Gladius, and the Gladius was like, I want to say, what was Gladius? It was a fairly big soft cap. I think it was like 400 Neo or something like that. So it's like 20 grand soft cap, and a few of our guys can definitely afford to put that much in by themselves. But to help the group out, they just, they put the base in, and then it allows even smaller investors at $70 and $100 to get in and grab those bonuses that are usually reserved for the big guys. So that's how it works in our group, man. Thanks for asking. Dave Purebred, I sold out my portfolio into XRP this morning, but I want to get it back into BTC for the fork. When should I do that? Fork's coming up on the 25th and the 28th, so it depends which fork you're talking about. So before then. Is Ripple hype, or where do you see the price reaching? Price prediction is pretty tough on that one. But if you look at the amount of money that has moved through the banking industry globally, they would only need to capture a very, very small fraction of that to become a very profitable coin, even much more so than what they are now. Price prediction, really, really hard. I've never actually sat down and done maths on that one. Like, how I said Binance before should be a $750 million company. That's true. Based on the way that companies are valued, it should be. So it's 50% under at the moment. I haven't done that valuation on XRP. I would struggle to find something comparative to do the calculations in the real world. So it's really hard for me to come up with price predictions for XRP. Fish, did they change the conversion rate on QLink? Yes, they did, mate. Joe, we'll have to find out exactly what that has changed. So I believe Gladius have as well. Seems responsible to me. I can see both sides of the coin on this, though. You know what I mean? Like, I saw a bunch of people whinging and bitching about, oh, you guys are ripping off your investors because the price of Neo's doubled and blah, 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 blah. For starters, they were making adjustments. And second of all, you chose to invest that Neo at that price. They didn't twist your arm. You could have chosen to invest in Ethereum, Neo, or Bitcoin on one of these ones. Or it might have just been Ethereum or Neo. The point is, you made that decision. And if the market had gone down and halved, would you be sitting there whinging? Would you be sitting there going, oh no, I really need to actually now give you more for the same amount of coins? It's only fair. No, not one investor would say that. It annoyed me a little bit, some of the crap I saw going on at at some of the Telegram groups with people having their 2 cents about how an ICO should run. Because they're very much favouring their own position every time they made an argument. They never looked at both sides of the coin, and I think that's stupid. Wilkie said PIVX FUD now because Wilkie wants PIVX to go down so he can buy more. No, I'm not going to FUD my own coin, mate. Good luck. Surfcoin, love that. Been surfing for 17 years in the Caribbean. Oh, that's sick, dude. I had some friends who lived over in the Caribbean. They were from Canada, but they were surfers. They surfed here with me at D-Bar. Yeah, oh man, surfing's the best. It's better than it is a type of meditation, in my opinion. What it does for my mind and clarity, and that's why I'm all over the place this morning because I haven't been for a surf because it's too small. I went to my first Bitcoin meetup in town here tonight. About 20 guys, mostly into mining. The leader was a math teacher in the local college and started in Bitcoin mining in 2013. He had 123 rigs and wrote his own BIOS and OS. Has not spent any of his 151 BTC. Lots of energy and different ideas. I was the only person there that was more into trading. Yeah, cool, Pablo. Well, it's going to become more like that, but this space has been heavily dominated by people in the mining space and in the tech space. It's changing now. Michael Budinger said, should I buy a shitcoin or crap coin? And Jow's actually, I answered him, shitcoin is better. You guys are dicks. Prosy coin, okay, good. I stopped answering questions, so the guys just took it upon themselves to be ridiculous. Just floating through my Blockfolio app, almost all coins down 10 to 25% today. I have 150 so coins on Blockfolio, but I only own about 12. I follow, but I only about 12. Cool, sorry. Leafs play in Vegas, New Year's. Oh, that'd be sick. Gary's in Vegas. Oh, go to the Leafs game. See what I'm doing here? Networking. Question, do I lose my money tried to be part of crypto over time? Well, I can't tell you the future. What I can tell you is from historically, no. You far outperform any fiat currency, and actually any stock, any commodity. So no, based on current trends, no, you will not lose money investing in crypto. Based on current trends, please make your own decisions, and I'm not a financial advisor, especially because I can't even say the word. Just moved from Vegas, cool. KMD's hit 12, nice. Yeah, KMD's been real bullish. It's because I was talking about it. Ginger anger. Go away, Wilkie. Wait, Wilkie, what are you doing later? Do you want to have a beer? Jace is back. Let's all catch up for a beer. We're all icon holders. Immature investors, such as immature poker players, need cheese for their wine. Too hot for me in the desert. I have been, but I could never see living there. 128 Fahrenheit in February in Yuma once did me in. Yeah, I've been to Vegas a couple of times. Don't remember it. I remember parts of it. I can't share those parts with you. Surfing is a holistic sport. It's the best, Sammy. Best. Over the concrete jungle, enjoying seasons back in Michigan for now. Cool, man. Yeah, I get, like, I moved to the southern Gold Coast because central Gold Coast, like Surfers Paradise, you might have heard of if you're from overseas. It's pretty famous. I used to live just like 10 minutes from Surfers Paradise, and it just got too much. Like, the buildings going up everywhere. Now I've moved to the southern Gold Coast and everything's developing around me here. So similar to the way that I affect the crypto economy, wherever I move to seems to get developed, which is good for the, when I buy and sell the house, I make good money on it. But I just want to settle down and be comfortable in a quieter area, and this is starting to get busy again. Just catching up, sorry. How does Omisco work if they are saying you don't need a bank account? Also, it is a good buy. It's down 17% today. Usually look for those double-figure retracements. I think you're going to find pretty good buying throughout the market. So I'm just like peeking over at my Bittrex account. It's taken a hammering, so I'll have a look before we check out. But yeah, man, you got to, like, Omasco, I was recommending buys on at $6.80, $5.80. So even with the retracements, it's hard for me to go, yep, jump in now, because it's doubled in not long. Long term, I think it's a good. I think it's a good hold, because Vitalik is super influential. He could literally move the price of Omasco by 10% just by putting out a tweet, and has done before. So with someone like Vitalik backing it, I think it's worth it. Do you think Ripple will continue to rise? I can't tell on its exact path, Ajub. I'm not sure of its exact path, man. I think long term it will rise from this point. Will it take some retracement first? I think it's more than likely, considering parabolic growth. But how many times have we seen in the top of the economy now where it should have retraced and it didn't? Bitcoin to 20 grand, okay, now it's done it, but it didn't do it from 10,000. It should have like 10, 12, 11, but it didn't do it. It just bang, see you later. 20 grand, now it's come back to 15. Hell of a swing. Litecoin. It just like, it went from 100 to 300 like that in a blink of an eye. And it doesn't show any signs of really coming back too far, you know, much below 300. It might a little bit, but you know, probably red-faced as it's sitting there at 200 right now. So can it keep going? Absolutely, because this market displays growth patterns and exponentials that I've never seen before. So I don't want to say it can't, but I'd be looking for a dip, because when you get that sort of growth in a day, you tend to get dips. One of my Lisk cells has just filled, so Lisk must be doing okay unless it's an old notification. Yo, why is the Bitmeister dropping like my grandmother's teeth? Babito Chacon. How are you, man? I'd say it's a couple of things. Okay, so a lot of new money came into the economy. They've got this Bitcoin, right? And they've probably just sat in their Coinbase like 90% of people do. And then they've got bored with 1% and 2% gains, and it's actually starting to go down now. Oh, what are all these other coins? Oh, how do I get them? Oh, move it to an exchange. Oh, hang on, it's going to charge me $10, $20, $5 to move it. I'm not getting any more Bitcoin. That's the mental cycle I see with it, right? With all the new money going, well, I'm not getting Bitcoin if it costs that much to move. The thing is, we've got Lightning Network coming in 2 days, and most of the new money won't know that. And if Lightning Network does provide real solutions in terms of bringing down those transaction fees, I think it will be bullish times for Bitcoin again, because it's had significant retracements now. I lived in Perth, Thomas Lee, when I was a young fella. I was actually on the way back from Perisher, the snowfields down. Yes, we do have snow in Australia, or ice. Snowfields down south in New South Wales. And I was 18 years old, and I said to my dad, oh, I'm going to go to Western Australia, drop us at the airport on the way back. And he did, and I left. Ended up in Scarborough. No, I ended up in Floreat at first, working at the Wembley Hotel, and then lived on Scarborough Beach, which was beautiful. Very sharky, though. Actually, for the person who asked me about shark stories before, Western Australia is very, very sharky. What's the price of QLink ICO? If I put 5K, how many coins will I get? I don't know off the top of my head. I'd have to go and check the white paper, and it has been adjusted. Best thing you can do at this stage, Mohammed Ahmed, with QLink adjusting their rate of purchase, is actually jump over to the QLink Telegram group and just put a question in there. But the thing is that the QLink is actually that whitelist is closed now, man. It closed last night. They filled up. They're not even going to be able to give everyone as much as they want. So for people who've registered for the got whitelisted for the pre-sale, you still will get a distribution of coins, but it may not be as much as you were looking for. Any past videos or resources you'd recommend to learn how to identify and bet the Fibonacci algorithm? I actually use, Ryan, thank you for the question. I actually use the Fibonacci sequence. So no, I haven't said, look, there's plenty of good trading videos out there that will explain a lot about technical analysis. I eyeball it because I don't have time. I don't have time to sit there and work it out down to that point. So what I use is a rough thing, which I call the Fibonacci sequence, and that's really to help me buying back into parabolics. And all it is a simple equation that says if it was stable at 10,000 Satoshis and it grew to 5,000 Satoshis, I won't start buying it back until it's taken half of that back. So yeah, it grew 4,000 Satoshis, so I'd buy back at 3, for example. But no, there's plenty of good videos out there, man. And that's just a rough thing I'd do. Do you see Bitcoin dropping lower than 14K within the next 2 days? No. Bottom line. I could be wrong, Abe. Abe, I can be wrong, man. You got to make your own decisions. But no, I don't. Not with Lightning Network coming on. If that it's tested well, there's no reason to believe it won't work well. If it works well, like a lot of the things that people are having problems with Bitcoin are at least going to be a step forward to being solved. That's positive. Positive news should drive price action up. Not to mention the 2 forks and 3 coins that everyone gets carried away about, even though they're probably going to be garbage. Bought your first Doge, cool. Yeah, why not, Mark? Indeed. I have an idea for a device that you put US dollars in and it burns the dollars and gives you crypto as a thank you for deflating the US dollar supply. Do you know how soon Gladius, after launch, will have a working product? Gladius already have a working product, Race Kristen. They're on alpha testing, brother. So they will be moving to beta testing in March is the roadmap. Thanks for the question. I don't know what you guys are talking about. I've missed it. Power, Mark G. I've expressed my opinions on Power before. I think it's a good long-term project. You've got to wait till 2019 to have a working product on that one. I think that's something that everyone needs to keep in mind. Would Verge be a good buy right now? I think long-term, yes. Short-term, you could see further retracements. It did take a massive run-up. We went from 0.5 cent to 15 cents. It's 30x. And it did that in 2 to 3 weeks. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see it drop some of that as people take some gains. Pretty boy, I would recognize that name. Welcome, first timer. Should we go into Ripple right now or wait for a dip? Should we buy Bitcoin now or wait for more of a dip? Bitcoin, I personally think that 15, it's already dropped below 15. So I think it's reasonable buying now. With at least we know with Bitcoin, we've got news coming up that should improve scalability in the Lightning Network. So we've also got 2 free drops of coins. So yeah, I think Bitcoin's good buying. Ripple, I would definitely wait for a dip. Just based on the fact that it's gone parabolic, and I never like to advise people buying into parabolics. Trading traditional will not help you in crypto markets. That's a very good point. Hodl into the moon. It's certainly not traditional growth patterns, and that's why I don't use the Fibonacci sequence and things that I did focus a little bit more on when I was trading in commodities and fiats. I've kind of pushed them aside, and we're sort of writing our own our own models for growth pattern. We're all learning still, so we're getting it right more often than not, but not perfect for sure. Harry Taylor, this bottom-up guy loves your wisdom. I'm a newbie to crypto and losing big time buying 19,000 on Bitcoin and seeing BTC Cash on Coinbase screwed me. But like my history, my learning curve is fast. Man, Harry Taylor, everyone loses money when they first get in. They FOMO, they panic sell. Don't even worry about it, man. The thing is, what I'd suggest when you are new is you start with small amounts of money, and then when you're confident, you can up your investment. And honestly, I think the best is a cumulative strategy because it allows you to be right and wrong. It allows you to always be right eventually, right? So let's say I've got $200 to put in the market. Let's make it 300, so it's nice and easy to do round figures. I might have jammed 1,000 in at 19, thinking it was just going to keep going. And okay, damn, I haven't got that right. So now I jump another. Sorry, we were saying $100, weren't we? So $100 at 19. I go, oh, damn, it's dropped. Okay, I'll actually buy in again at 15,000 for another 100, and then I'd look for I don't know. I'd go and check the charts, but maybe 12 or something. You're going to have to check the charts to find out where the support is. Previous to these sorts of runs up. But by doing that, what happens if you're wrong? Like you were at 19,000, clearly. I'm not being rude. In the short term, you were wrong. Long term, I think you'll still be fine. Because I think Bitcoin will get to those lofty I think it'll push 6 figures. I do. One day. Near future, I don't know, but I don't think so. But one day it will. So I think 19,000 you'll be fine long term. But the point is, if you then put another $100 in at 15,000, and it's got to be within your budget. If it hasn't been, you wait. Don't go jamming more money in that you don't have. But if you've sort of budgeted for it, you can go 19, then get 15. That brings your dollar cost average down. And then if you hit it again at 12, it brings your dollar cost average again further. And then by the time you get back to sort of 15, you've negated, by buying at 12 as well, you've negated the 19. So that's how I play it, man. When I'm wrong, I just hit it harder. I just hit it further and further on the way down, especially if I've done really good research on the project. Ethercept said Verge is better than gold because gold won't be 10K in a year, whereas Verge will be $1 within the next year. So Verge has at least a 10x from 10, not professional advice. Yeah, no, you did well on Verge, man. Definitely. We all did. We've been in it for a while. Even Wilkie. Hey, Wilkie owes you a beer, Ethercept. I was talking to him the other night, and he goes, you know that Verge? I said, yeah. I said, I've been in it since June. He goes, I picked up like $600. I hadn't even looked at it, hadn't studied it, and I just put $600 into it because Ethercept was so bullish on it, and that was at 0.5%. So he made $7 grand off you, dude. So he owes you a beer. No, it's my pleasure, Abe. It's only my opinion. That's the thing you guys got to keep in. You use this as part of like whatever my opinion is or whatever I'm saying. Use that as part of part of the information you're gathering to formulate your own opinion. Because like this, I got to tell you, there's YouTubers out there that I've got mad respect for that I hell disagree with on some of their statements. Like I've said this before, Coin Mastery has got to be one of the guys I respect most in the economy. That Carter Thomas. He's got a really level head, and he's clearly very intelligent. But he keeps calling to go into Bitcoin Cash as a hedge against Bitcoin, whereas I say no, go into IOTA as a hedge against Bitcoin, because when you're hedging, you're trying to diversify, not grab more of the same thing. So, for my opinion, diversifying means going into a different technology. And I heavily disagree with his strategy there, but that's one strategy, and I've got a lot of respect for the guy. And that doesn't mean we're now, well, he doesn't even know me, but that doesn't mean we would now be enemies, because that's how market works. Ethercept and I have a lot that we think the same on, and then we've got a few coins we think different. Rocket and I have agreed on a lot, but we have a disagreement on one of the coins he's looking at the moment. It doesn't mean we're no longer mates. We just got different opinion on one coin. So it's the same when you're listening to what I say. Don't take it as gospel. Take my opinion, take a bunch of other opinions, but most importantly, do your own research and decide whether you think it's got potential. But yeah, always happy to give my opinion, man. Hodl into the moon. BTC is a bad investment for a beginner. I would have to understand why. I think it's better than traditional forms of investing, Hodl, and to the moon. The reason being is because in the traditional world, smaller players are quite often eaten up with, brokerage. Brokerage might $20 or $50 or whatever might not cost a lot for a guy who's trading $1 million. It's not a massive percentage, but how about the guy who wants to trade $100? He hasn't been able to do it, and now the crypto economy gives him a chance to. So I think it's a great place to actually learn, and it's kind of like it cuts your learning curve because the space moves so quickly. So I don't think it's a bad investment. Depends on whether you're talking about it like Bitcoin right now, its current stage of development. And honestly, I think with Lightning Network coming up, I've said it before. How can that be a bad thing unless it fails? But if it's tested well, we've got to assume it's going to work on the network. And if it does, I think Bitcoin will get lofty and bullish again. I can be wrong though, and I appreciate your opinion because it gives a good balance to mine. Will Bitcoin moon on Christmas? I don't know. Asking me to pick exact dates, Chris Hatz. That's a bit hard for me to pick exact timelines. The only reason I think it's got good times ahead is because I've actually got some events leading up that I can make a decision. Okay, that should be good for the market. Is my reading on it. Adrian Bennett, hello. Oh, Fish, I have a real question. How would you recommend making money through crypto in a bear market? Michael, I mean, it depends on whether you're proficient with trading. If you're proficient with trading, you can still make money in a bear market. Crypto Chronicles has said futures, Ethercept said arbitrage. There are two other ways that you can certainly make money in a bearish economy. It's labor intensive though. Yeah, you're part of the 1%, you'll do well, exactly. Hey, Bubba D, you love the song? I've released that many now I can't even remember which one you're talking about. G Josh, 2000 sats on ICX. 2000, did it? Oh, that's good. It's nice to see. Yeah, I think it was hovering close to that. Ripple, $1.35. Fosters. Yeah, I'll have a Fosters, man. It's the, that's the crap we export because we don't drink it here, right? Ethercept. No one drinks Fosters in Australia. At my meetup in Toronto on Tuesday, a few of us discussed who cares if Bitcoin goes up to 100K by next December. I believe it will. There is much more money to be made out there. 100K is only 7x. Yeah, I've got to be careful about, I did the same thing when we're talking about calling it only 7x. Go and find me a financial advisor or any person in the world who can make you 700% in 12 months. If you make 10% in 12 months, you should be happy because you're killing the banks. You're doubling what they'll, probably tripling what they'll give you, and you don't have fees. So I think, I don't know, if you can get if you think it will, and then you can get a game like you think you're pretty much a lock for 7x, why wouldn't you back that instead of taking, I don't know, some high risk, high reward stuff, sure, but I'd still make them. If you're confident that Bitcoin will go to 100, shit, make that the bulk of your holding. You probably get about 50 different forks between now and then as well. There'll probably be a fork a week coming up soon. Oh, wait, Rocket, just talking about you. Chris Sikos, Fosters and Crown Lager are literally from the same vat. Yeah. I didn't know that, actually. My brother's into all that. He works for Lion Nathan. Oh, didn't have a clue. Anyway, I've been blooding on for way too long. I'm going to check out. But plenty of stuff to do today. Got to keep moving. So I'll go over the market quickly as I usually do. I think it's been a bit of a bloodbath because I've been looking over it. I'm like, it's starting to come back a bit. Let's just have a quick look. See how it's trending. Yeah, it's a bit of red in the last hour. Ripple's still going, $1.35. That's crazy. The rest of it's pretty red. Komodo's still going as well, 4.63% in the last hour. Salt's up a little bit, mostly in the red at the moment, guys. Looks like we're bleeding a bit. It's understandable with this meteoric run up. Good to see. PIVX back below $10 as well. Yeah, there's a few. I mean, for those of you who, I always see dips as opportunity. I think it was such big run up, so I'll go and do some assessments now. But if you are investing today, make sure you don't invest more than you can afford to lose. That's really one of the keys to being successful in this game. Anyway, I'm going to check out. I'll catch you all tomorrow for another cryptocurrency conversation and report. See you then.